Rantland!
The Django Unchained, because I don't want to leave out the D. Yeah. Okay, so Django Unchained, I thought was a really great film. Spike Lee didn't think it was a really good film. We'll wait. He thought that the premise wasn't good, but the film itself, the quality was good. Regardless, I think he's a whiny little brown Cindy Brady that makes really marginalized black films about black people who virtually don't exist anymore that I can't personally identify with. This is so weird. Okay, yeah, Quentin Tarantino is awesome, and his films are good, and they're diverse in character and premise, and I think that's the opposite of Spike Lee. I think he's good visually. I think he's almost kind of kitschy. Is that how you say it? Kitschy? Catchy? Whatever the hell. But anyway, yeah. I really liked it because there were several black actors that I think don't get enough work in it. And then I also liked it because there was black actors in it in general. Which is like, it wasn't a black movie. It wasn't like a, what's that guy that dressed up as a black woman? Oh my god, what's his name?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry, yeah. I can't stand those movies. I can't stand them all. Not to mention that my grandmother looks nothing like that lady, and I can't identify with her. And I'm not a black Southerner, and I don't know anyone that talks like that because I'm from Cambridge. But anyway, what I don't like about Spike Lee, I'll start with that, is that I think he's reclusive in his goals. I think his goal is to make films that are for the black person that maybe he grew up around or he's socialized with, or better yet, his parents, but he can't think outside the box. Like, I feel like he doesn't know a variety of different, I wouldn't say black people, but black voices. He knows the black guy that feels uncomfortable and has to, like, fight socially to protect his relationship with his, like, white girlfriend. Or he has to, like, overemphasize in this really Cosby Show kind of way the black family and dynamic, which isn't across the board visually, like visually as people see commonly, like yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'd say more like Crooklyn, for instance. Crooklyn was beautiful visually, but it was just draggy and redundant and saccharine-like with these. I don't know what the goal was. Was it to emphasize that there could be a healthy black family unit, or was it just to like reaffirm for him that like that's what he had growing up? Nonetheless, it wasn't personal. Not only was it not personal, but it wasn't unpersonal enough to like welcome people outside of that community, unless you're like ridden with white guilt and horribly sentimental of what you think black life is like. Regardless, I don't appreciate someone speaking on my behalf in my own personal history, which happens to be ethnically diverse. But Spike Lee would know that when he's getting really upset at Quentin Tarantino for making a film that was grossly accurate. And that's something that Spike Lee hasn't done. He hasn't given you a picture of black life that's like legitimately accurate. And Quentin Tarantino is a white man, and he did that, and he casted like black actors beyond reproach, but also didn't have these like weird isolated shots of slavery that could be kind of thrown up in the air and you think you might know that that's accurate. The brutality was accurate, but then it was also layered on top of something that was like, I wouldn't say inaccurate, but entertaining to say, here's brutality, but here's this like little short German actor that's gonna like say all these awesome proverbial things and have this great banter with Jamie Foxx, which you don't see. You don't get to see black actors being versatile in films that aren't black. You just don't get to see, better yet, you don't even get to see black men and black women actually being in a relationship that isn't like slathered in like everyday like whining. Like oh, we're a black couple, so we have to like overdo it or play black tax or what have you. It's pretty simple, like love is. I love my wife. She's a fucking slave. I'm gonna go get her and free her. And I'm gonna randomly meet this dude that wants to use me to do what he has to do, so that way I can do what I have to do. And then all of a sudden, despite the premise, it just becomes a movie about people getting what they want. And I can appreciate that. What I don't appreciate about the Spike Lee films, except for his, I think Mike, I don't know if it's his first film. She's Gotta Have It. That was an awesome film. I think it was a really great film. I mean, there's some issues that I have with it, but that's according to my taste. I think it's just awesome to like see this like awesome bohemian, cute little black girl like going in between these like three unrealistic black characters that she probably inevitably wouldn't have dated. It was kind of like unrealistic that she would date this like dapper, obnoxious, self-absorbed black man who was a capitalist, and then date someone like Spike Lee's character who wore a big stupid chain and like rode around on a bike and like kept repeating himself over and over and over and over and over again. Didn't seem like characters that would be not accessible to her, but people she wouldn't actually have sex with. And then there was like the super polished, biracial, sort of high yellow black guy who's like monotoned and like kind of like Morgan Freeman, which is another character that I didn't think that she would inevitably sleep with. Like I can see her like with somebody else of either color, but whatever. It was a good film. I love that it was in black and white, and out of all of his films, it seemed to be the most raw and diverse. So that's what I think Spike Lee lacks. He lacks diversity. He lacks imagination, according to my taste. But then again, that's just me. When I watch a Quentin Tarantino film, I not only can't predict what is going to happen, but based on commercials or clips, you can't ever really be certain where he's going to go. It's kind of like Woody Allen, which is, I think, as far as I can remember, there was some quarrel or passive-aggressive quarrel that Spike Lee probably initiated with, like, Woody Allen. And Woody Allen is Woody Allen, and Spike Lee's like, I'm gonna film New York, when essentially he's filming Brooklyn. I guess they're both from Brooklyn, and he has some weird competitive edge. And I sort of think he's just kind of like a racist, and he probably doesn't even know he's a racist. But then he's black, so like he gets to say he's like not a racist, which really pisses me off even more. So he gets to like marginalize black people, their lives, and speak on my behalf, and millions of other black people in this country. He gets to speak on their behalf cinematically, and then people walk out of a fucking theater thinking that it's like Boomerang, and it's totally fucking not. When you watch a Woody Allen film, these characters are more based on people's neuroses, like the internal part of person. So I can better yet relate to someone in Manhattan, or even better yet, Annie Hall, than I could relate to some protagonist from like Girl 6, which I thought was cute and campy and charming, but yet she didn't speak my language. So it's just kind of, if someone doesn't speak your language, no matter where you are, you're not going to be able to not communicate, but have them communicate to you. Have their experience somehow run parallel with your life experience. And I think that's really what's wrong with Spike Lee, is that the experiences that his characters have are just so epically redundant and enclosed, where you're not allowed to be a part of it. You kind of just have to watch his opinion unfold, which I think is very much like one-sided and selfish. But then he made a film about some bank robbers or something. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was really good. Like there were dynamic characters and it was exciting. And then I found out it was a Spike Lee film, and I was like, that's not possible, because I never get these feelings watching a Spike Lee film. These people are never really interesting enough for me to like want to continue to watch it. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, if he can continue to make films like that, or School Days, it was a I don't think a racist white director or script writer can concoct something that fucking offensive and reductive. Like, I watched that film and I just like, I had to put my fucking hands over my eyes. I was like, are these people really like singing in this beauty parlor back and forth? And then you have like the dark black people fighting against like the light people and good hair and all this shit. And it was just stupid. It was kind of like Bamboozled. Like, it was great premise, but the execution, I think his execution is always comes down to what Spike Lee wants to watch, not what he wants to convey to other people, but what he wants to convey back to himself. So I just think he's just an epic projector. And that goes back to Quentin Tarantino, is that I don't think he's ever projecting. I think he kind of like watermarks his films with his like weird foot fetishes and like love and admiration for blaxploitation films, which is awesome. But he manages to concoct these storylines where people who like don't get Pulp Fiction can enjoy it. Like if they don't understand the storyline and the timing and they're like, oh, I thought he was dead, they still get to laugh. Like you still get to engage, you still get to appreciate. But with a Spike Lee film, it just kind of fucking flatlines, and then you like leave the theater or you like stop the DVD and you're like, did I learn anything here? Did I experience anything new or exciting? Like, can I talk about this film at a fucking cocktail party? No, you can't. All you get is Spike Lee whining, and he does it in this way where it's not even like really whining like Woody Allen whines. Woody Allen whines, and you love him for it because he's an intellectual person, he's a diverse person, he's a cultured person. So he's able to bring all these different things to the table, but still be able to be like, I'm a Jew! And that's awesome, because we all know he's Jewish, and he lets the every fucking film, and I dig it. But he also allows you to not be Jewish and, like, appreciate his characters. And Spike Lee doesn't do that. He's like, here's these black characters, they're isolated in this little black set, in this little black world with their little black banter, and I'm black, and I don't appreciate it, and I don't enjoy it. I mean, is he a significant film director and writer and so what have you? Yes, he is. To like maybe the 10 people who don't really enjoy film. And that's what I think. I think people that really enjoy film, like really enjoy it, don't really enjoy Spike Lee. I feel like there's like a sect of people that like Spike Lee films. There's like people who have like an abundance of white guilt, who feel like allegiance to love his films because he's speaking on behalf of black people and they want to understand black people. I don't know. And then you have like the black bourgeois who are probably like, oh, this is very exciting, this person's speaking my language. And then you have people who are indifferent, who see a film and they go, okay, that was really good. But I've never come across anyone in my life who was passionate about a Spike Lee film, who was like, that was riveting, that was amazing, I've never seen anything like that, I've connected with it. You just don't, well, I just don't get that experience. So it's hard for me to understand why someone would think that I would essentially, via the HuffPost, think that I would need to apologize to him, or better yet, feel sympathetic for him being bombarded by people saying, well, you know, you can't be offended by this, or it's wrong that you didn't enjoy this. It is wrong. It is wrong. That's his personal opinion, and if he has an opinion, he should take that opinion and make a film that's just as remarkable as Django fucking, you know, Unchained. If he doesn't like the fact, which he probably doesn't, that someone else that isn't black made a film chock full of black actors doing interesting things in a film that was horribly interesting and refreshing. Yes. Do I think he's irritated, pissed, or a little bit fucking butthurt? Absolutely. I think he is. But there's a different way to go about it, and that's not attacking another artist who is reflecting something with great accuracy, and I think with the comedic essence of the film would make it sensitive. It's like he provided you with a buffer. Like, here's the brutality of slavery. But then now you can laugh, and now you can learn, like, a little bit of fucking German or something. Like, there's a bunch of little things in there that, like, bring you back after you've seen Kerry Washington be, like, put in a fucking box or whipped. And then again, in contrast, with Spike Lee, he kind of just gives you this one-dimensional character that you're not supposed to really relate to. You're just supposed to just, like, observe them. But then if you're observing something, you would think afterwards you would have something to connect with it. And I think that's what he lacks as a filmmaker, is that he's just someone who feels he's entitled to make black films, not specifically for black people, I don't think, but specifically for him and his friends. And in that case, I think he should make films that him and his friends watch on a white sheet in his living room versus like getting money to make films that he just puts in the movie theater and people don't talk about them. And every time I've ever brought up Spike Lee, I never meet anyone who goes, "Oh wow, Crooklyn was really intense," or like, "Girl 6 really resonated with me." You never hear Spike Lee one-liners. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, he's just this person that makes this film that 10 people go to see. And I can understand how he might, after that, after seeing a film like that, he might have to accept that not necessarily he failed as a filmmaker, but maybe, I wouldn't say you can never really fail as an artist, but fail to relate to people, to be able to give them something. Like all films you keep. That's why people buy DVDs or they get things on Netflix, so they can have something to refer to back on their own personal lives. And I think with him, in contrast to Quentin Tarantino and in contrast to Woody Allen, the two people I know that he has concocted some kind of contest or issues with, is that they're contemporary. It reaches people, and he doesn't reach people. And when you have to like actually accept that after someone makes what I consider to be a masterpiece, I actually feel a little bit bad for him, but not really, because he's had ample time to be able to take things from his life and give us something that we can relate to and that we can share. And he hasn't done that. And I hope he'll do it, because I think that his style, he's very stylized. I think he's picked great actors, but he hasn't given them permission or the stage to really show how talented that they can be. It's just like when a director fucks up his own movie. You know, you get all these great people together, you have like a $10 million budget, and then it just flops. It doesn't flop because the actors are bad most of the time. It flops because what the person wants to see is for fucking them. And I think that Scorsese does it sometimes. I think Oliver Stone does it sometimes. They want to make something that makes them fucking happy. They're like, wow, look at my masterpiece. I really enjoy it. This is what I want to see. And I think that comes down to Spike Lee. Spike Lee is an I, and Quentin Tarantino is an everybody. Slavery is every American's history. It's not isolated for just black people. It wasn't an isolated film for just white people. It was a film for everyone to enjoy. And I think that's why he's upset. And I think he really did enjoy it. And him enjoying it made him very spiteful or spikeful or whatever the fuck. But either way, the Django for me was uncomfortable, and that's what's supposed to happen when you watch films. You're supposed to be uncomfortable. You're supposed to be mad. You're supposed to laugh. You're supposed to cry. You're supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be offended. You're supposed to want to see it again or scoff at the fucking screen. That's the experience that you have. But getting a couple of good chuckles from a few fucking deadpan black jokes in a fucking 2-hour movie isn't essentially what people really want. They can get that shit for free on YouTube. And I really feel like kind of being enraged at how it was inappropriate that Quentin Tarantino used the word nigger. I hear nigger all the fucking time. I have Latino friends who call each other nigger, which I'm like, you couldn't be anything further from a nigger. I hear white people go, yo, what's up, nigger? And nigger this. There's rock and roll nigger. There's fucking niggers. Women are the niggers of the world. There's Rimbaud nigger, the outcast. So it's just kind of like, if he's mad at Quentin Tarantino, he's mad at Yoko Ono and John Lennon. If he's fucking mad at Quentin Tarantino, he's mad at Patti Smith. Why doesn't he pick a fucking fight with Patti Smith? You see, it's just kind of like, for all the reasons that he's angry at Quentin Tarantino for making this film, is where he failed to be able to affect people. And that's what you're supposed to do when you share your art. And if you don't want to share it, then fucking paint or make films for yourself and your friends or whatever the fuck. But when you commit to making films for people all over the world to enjoy or hypothetically enjoy, you can't turn around and go, well, that's racist that Leonardo DiCaprio said nigger, when it wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio that said nigger. It was a fictional fucking character in a film that said nigger. Like, those people they rehearsed their lines in a film because it was historically accurate, actually. So how can you be mad that, like, fictional characters who were marrying people that existed use the word nigger. Like, how can you be mad that, like, Samuel L. Jackson was, like, a self-hating house nigga? Because he totally fucking was. And I love the fact that he even approached that in the first place, which a lot of people don't talk about, or even better yet, a lot of black people don't want to have white people know that we're racist amongst each other to, like, a level that probably exceeds white people at this point. So it's like, to be able to explore self-hatred, to be able to explore the dehumanization, and like with Kerry Washington's character, I really love that he, like, went there with I don't even know if there's a word to use, like, to defeminize a woman and to make her into an animal, better yet to just fuck and breed, is something that I've never seen on film except for the film Mandingo. I mean, does he hate the film Mandingo? It was pretty much like I guess in that kind of blaxploitation kind of way, yes, I could see how it could, like, offend a black person, but it's just kind of like, you can't make decisions on how you're offended by the color of your skin. Better yet, you can't be mad at something that, to that point, that you didn't even experience. And that's what pisses me off. It's just like, you're this upper middle class black guy who's like a total fucking, black bourgeois, fucking isolated, like, I'm gonna make shit for me and, like, the 10 other fucking black people that live in Park Slope, but then, like, when someone else has the balls to put history in front of people and praise it across the board, whether you're black or you're white at all. I've known so many different people who are like, I love the film, and they didn't just love it because it approached the facts of slavery visually. They loved it because it was a really good film. And that's what people want, and Spike Lee doesn't know that, so it makes me really upset.